a bit afraid to lose weight and simply just gain it all back after you're done? Now, this is one of the fears that one of my clients was facing as well. And I want to share with you the steps that we went through that I hope that you can use for yourself to hopefully not alleviate some of that pain. Because the reality is like when somebody starts with me or just wants to start a weight loss program in general, they're typically at 10 out of 10 pain. You typically, none of your clothes are fitting, energy level low, busy, don't have a lot of time. This trial and error way of doing this thing makes it so frustrating at times to where you go, is it even worth it? And so you then go and you get a coach. And if you've followed my stuff for a bit, you can review my content. I can promise you, I know what I'm doing, right? I got a giant wall behind me full of testimonials. I've got thousands of people I've worked with over the past 14 years of being in this industry that would attest that, hey, I can get people results. But the reality is there's always that fear that I might screw the whole thing up, right? That somebody goes into this, like I get to this point, I know I've gone here before, I've gotten close to this, and I inevitably just gain it all back. Well, I'm here to share with you, again, the process that I've used with her to alleviate some of this pain so she wouldn't have to feel that way, okay? And so this is one of my clients, okay? Her name's Whitney, and Whitney's absolutely crushing it. She's down about 30 pounds or so. None of her clothes are fitting. In fact, she has to get all brand new stuff all the time. And we're not even done yet. We're barely at the 6-month mark, and it's just phenomenal, the transformation she's taken on with being really close to 200 pounds. And now she's sitting sub 170. She's actually 168 today, which is phenomenal, okay? But we ran into some problems. On our last check-in, we were having a conversation, and we found that she was having some issues with that fear, the fear of gaining the weight back. And so I said, okay, let's just dive into it a little bit. Let's just play around and kind of see what comes of this. Because if we can see some of the things that you've kind of dealt with in the past of not getting results, we might be able to then come up with some things. So I said, okay, Whitney, what are some of the things in the past that have kind of got this weight back on? And the first one she said was pregnancy. Oh gosh. Come on, dude. Pregnancy was one. Okay? She unfortunately had a miscarriage as well. And as somebody and spells that incredibly wrong, as somebody who's had a miscarriage, not me set myself personally, obviously, but as somebody who was a spouse of somebody who had a miscarriage, it's very painful to have that. Then it was school. Lack of priority. Are you resonating with this? Time. What else? She sees her family. All of her family's big. And so she's like, look at them. If I keep doing that, I'm going to run into the same sort of problem. Other things that she was experiencing is injuries. And these are just things that anybody can experience. You can make this list yourself, okay? You can go through and just start making the list as you go through the whole process, okay? So come up with a list of things on one side, okay? And we're not looking at these as excuses because we're not here to do that. We're not here to beat ourselves up. We're not here to go, oh my gosh, I can't believe I would ever write this down or do this. We're not here for that. What we are here for is just looking at what we're doing and what's going on and how we can maybe fix some things so that we don't have this problem again. Because that would be really nice, wouldn't it? So I said, okay, Whitney, I see the problems that you have, and let me raise you something, okay? Let's look through all of these and see what things are literally possible for you, okay? And so not gonna be pregnant anymore. So we can kind of take these things off of the list, okay? And I said, okay, are you gonna go to school? She said, potentially. I said, okay, we'll leave that on the list. Totally fine. What about, lack of priority? Are you in the same position as you were, even at the same weight? Because that was the fear, actually. She's been at this weight before. This is some odd years ago. She's like, I've been here before. Even after bariatric surgery, I got to this weight, and all I did is gain it back. I'm really nervous of that. Okay, well, back then, did you have the same sort of priority of your health and fitness as you do now? Do you understand when you don't do these things that it actually causes more harm than it does, even if you're stressed, it causes more harm to not do them than to do them, right? The answer is yes. So, okay, cool. We don't have that problem. We don't have this problem. We don't have this problem. Time. Now you're not raising kids. Your youngest is, I think, 9 or something like this. So, you don't have that time commitment with being up all night with kids and not getting good sleep and all these things, right? Right. Okay. Cool. Family. Do you see yourself in the next 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 years having the same sort of lifestyle as some of these family members have that are not where they want to be? Yes or no? Now, this is not me being rude to anybody about their lifestyle. Not what I'm here for. All I'm saying is, hey, if, as an example, I'm in this side of the bubble, the only way I will stay here is if I stand here and do nothing, right? But if I were to take steps to the other side, regardless of the speed that I'm going, would I not go from here to here? Yes. Could I ever get back there? No, not unless I walk that way, right? And so the reality is, if your family is big, or you see that, oh, they've lost weight and gained it back, are you doing the actions that they would do or are doing that would lead you to that same thing? If the answer is no, then that will not be you. As another example, you will not be an alcoholic if you don't drink alcohol. You will not have a gambling problem if you don't gamble. You will not become obese if you don't do the things that lead you to becoming obese, which is eating more food than what you burn. If you burn more calories than you eat or maintain, you will not literally ever, never, ever, ever gain fat. Never. Not possible. Can't do it. Okay? Injuries. Okay, will you ever get injured? Potentially. Okay. So now we've got some things. So a lot of the fear that she was having is already taken care of. And there was more things. I'm not going to get any more personal than what I've already gotten. But you see how of these things, of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 things that I've written down here, and there's others, right? Almost all of them are gone. The last 2 are school and injuries. And then all we do is go, okay, for school, what sort of process, habit, routine do we need to have right now to where despite what happens at school, you doing school, that you don't forget your health and fitness? And she's like, well, I already feel like I kind of have that. Oh, cool. So actually, guess what? School, not a problem. Injuries. Oh, snap. Injuries. What can I do to prevent injuries? Because I don't know about you, when I'm injured, I get unmotivated real fast. Me too. What can we do about injuries? What sort of process can we do to avoid pain from injuries? She's like, I could stretch more. Love that. Stretch more. What's your current stretch routine? I don't have one. Cool. Let's build one. What else can we do? Form check. What exercise do you need help with? Let's figure those out. Let's make sure under load we do them correctly. You see how all these things we can just prevent, we can start building things out. Because the reality is with a lot of these things that people face, that even you might be facing, when it comes to these, is, let me scooch this down a little bit, is we are worrying about stuff that's not there, that's slowing us down, it's not going to be relevant, okay? Because if there is you along the road and the finish line, the goal is here, and there's a roadblock in the way, we need to investigate why that's there. Does it even appear there? Is it even real? And if it's not real, or we're not sure if it's real, it is your duty to investigate, to go, okay, what things might be slowing me down? What sort of process am I feeling with this? And once you can do this, sky's the limit. We did this on Monday this week. She was 172. Today, she's 168. And she was doing things that were making that weight stay true of it, like being hard to get lower than that for fear of gaining it back. Snacking, snagging, not tracking all of her food, not wanting to exercise. And now she's unstoppable. She's like, I feel renewed. I have more energy. I feel so great. I'm so pumped we had that conversation because she's absolutely crushing it. So use this, please, if you're somebody who's worried about gaining the weight back, because last point here is especially if you're somebody who's gotten to the same dead end spot each time. Okay, and then I'll let you guys go. But if you're liking this, please like, subscribe, do all things because it helps other people see this stuff. Okay, I hope that I've entertained you enough and given you enough information where you go like, Chris deserves a little bit of a follow or something. Okay, so check this out. There's a common misconception that if Whitney at 170 years ago, when she had all these problems, is the same Whitney today that was at 170. Just not true. Not true. How do I know it's not true? Well, she literally doesn't have all those problems. She's not going to be pregnant. She's not going to have a miscarriage if she can't get pregnant. She doesn't have to go to school. Or the problems that school caused, she won't face those problems because we've already figured out root causes like priority time, family, sleep, all these other things. Right? These things we've already fixed. And so on the scale, she might be the same. But I even said, when you're at 170 before, versus 170 now, do you even look the same? She's like, no, I've got way more muscle now than I do then. So you're not even in the same spot from your body. Body composition is different. But also, just because your weight here is it the same? 170. 170. Okay? Her mental game, the thing that actually keeps weight off, the stuff like priority, sleep, stress, managing stress, routines, habits, exercise, consistency, discipline, these sort of things are way higher than they were before. So gaining weight back now is like getting on a bicycle and trying to fall off after you've been riding a bicycle correctly for the last 6 months. Have fun. It's going to be incredibly challenging, almost impossible. Okay? So now, honestly, for her, it's not a matter of if she's going to lose these 20 pounds, she's probably going to lose it in the next 5 months or so. It's pretty cool. Okay? About a pound per week is where we're set to lose. She'll be down to the lowest weight she's been since before she had kids. And at the end of the program, I'm going to teach her the remaining math and the science of how we keep weight off and the steps that we use, the 4 different seasons that you're going to fall into when it comes to maintenance of what that looks like to keep weight off in the long term. So she'll never have this problem ever again. And if you're somebody right now struggling with learning how to do that, all you got to do is click the link, the top link in my bio, fill out that form. We're going to cover exactly the stuff that you're struggling with. If you're in a season of I'm stuck at a weight I've been at before, or you go to the same weight, gain it back, go to the same weight and gain it back, there's something beyond that we can uncover, discover, and help you get the body you want without spending hours in the gym, without starving yourself, eating boring, bland, crappy foods. Most importantly, getting rid of the stress and all the problems that you face when it comes to losing weight by creating new habits, new behaviors, new processes in your world to where those things won't even matter anymore. That's it for me. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.